And YouTube. The Women's Leadership Forum is here. We welcome all of our viewers here today. And boy, what I'm about to bring to you, I need personally, I got to tell you, just because of what's happening in today's world, and also I'm going through a little physical therapy here, and I'm hoping to work it out today. So as you know, Mondays, we're going to talk about health and wellness, and I've got something in store for you. So I welcome you all here to the Women's Leadership Forum podcast broadcast live. We're coming to you live. I'm your host, Colette Coakley. I'm the Vice President of Human Resources for Maryland Public Television, as well as the founder for the Women's Leadership Forum. And what does that all mean? I'm an advocate for people. I want to see people get to their next level, particularly women. I want to see women rise in all ways, shapes, or form, whether it's your community, your home, your workplace. I want to see you get to that next level. And so we bring you access to people, places, and things. We try to put them at your fingertips so that you will be able to help yourself and to help others. That's what we're here for. We're a community of women. It doesn't take much for you to join. All you need to do is go to our website. Go to our website. Be a part of us. Tell us what your resources are. Tell us how you can help. Tell us how you would like to be helped. And we're there for you. So I just want you to know that we don't care what level you're at. You could be a CEO of a company. We want to know you. You could be just starting out in your career. We still want to know you. And we are there to pair you with someone else that will help elevate your game. Now, we are on social media. We're mainly on Facebook and Instagram and LinkedIn. And the hashtag for us is forward WLF. Forward WLF, because we're forward thinking and we want you to think forward. And our website is forwardwlf.org. So we invite you today. This is a chatting game. Even though I'm going to be trying to do some exercises here, I'm going to try to chat and exercise at the same time. And so I would like to acknowledge your presence. I'm glad that you're joining us. Please feel free to use the chat box. And I see we have one of our regulars with us. That's Christina Johnson, who we interviewed earlier was it this month or last month? No, it was last month. We interviewed last month with her family in hip hop hair. Don't forget about that hip hop hair, because it is really popular book. So go out there, look on Amazon for that hip hop hair. But today we're going to talk about yoga, y'all. Yoga, y'all. We're going to talk about yoga, and we're going to talk about it with Tesha Crockett Gibson. I welcome Tesha to the forum. Tesha is not in Baltimore, but in Virginia. And she's a coach, right? A life coach, executive wellness life coach, and her business is based in Washington, D.C. And she's the founder of Wellness After Dark. That sounds kind of sexy, right? Wellness After Dark. And she provides one-on-one and group coaching in addition to corporate wellness and empowerment workshops. Tesha is passionate about creating space for her clients to embrace a resilient mindset, redefine boundaries, and explore their inner workings. And I want to welcome Tesha to the Women's Leadership Forum. Welcome, Tesha.
Thank you for having me. I'm super excited.
So I usually start here. I start here with asking women who join us, and men as well, to tell us just a little bit about their journey. Tell us a little bit about your journey.
So I'm actually from Ohio, actually from Akron, Ohio. I went to school.
Ohio.
For all those that do not like football, there is like the national championship tonight, so I'm super excited about it. But
Okay.
I went to school in North Carolina. I wanted to be a lawyer, honestly, and I finished all my undergraduate courses, and then I worked in the DA's office for probably about, I don't know, 6 months, and then I didn't want to be a lawyer, right? It just wasn't my thing. So I was like, what am I passionate about? So I was passionate about health. I was passionate about wellness. I was passionate about, creating a space for people that look like me, also that think like me. And then just constantly as it grew, I think I was starting to look at like, what are the things that we think about physically? Like everybody thinks about physical wellness and they think about, what you look like, what your blood pressure is, things of that sort. But we don't really think about like everything that goes into that. So like the social wellness, the stress levels, so like the emotional wellness that we deal with, and how we can be like our whole entire human beings. So for me, that's really what brought me into the wellness space. Um, I've worked in clinical environments, I've worked in corporate environments, I've also worked for myself. So really just wanting to make sure that I can influence people to create their best selves and however they would like to do it.
Well, tell us a little bit about yoga, okay? Because today is dedicated to working it out through yoga. So tell us a little bit about, I know it's like well, I could be wrong, but I thought that it was an ancient art of sorts. So
So it's
tell
an
us a
ancient,
little.
it is an ancient art. It did start in India. So a lot of times yoga has been kind of partnered with, meditation. It's been partnered with prayer, depending on like what type of yoga we're doing. It's been around for centuries, and probably within the last century, it's kind of migrated to to the Western world, to like America, things of that sort. And now there's just several different parts of yoga, right? So initially, yoga started as a meditation and kind of creating movement to that meditation, and creating like that meditation within the body and that mindfulness. And now it's kind of transpired into, you know, America and, the Western hemisphere. And now we're doing power yoga. You can do hatha yoga. You can do vinyasa yoga. So now there's lots of different type of yoga that you can do.
So our word of the month is wait, and it can be a couple of different meanings to that. Um, you know, it could be hold on and wait to do yoga, or I want to lose weight and do yoga. But can you tell us how you would incorporate either one of those
Okay.
into what you're doing?
Okay. So I would say both, right? So if you are, first of all, for me, I'm a super type A person. I am going all the time. Even when I practice yoga, like I'm going all the time. There's always something going on. I'm always taking on more. I love to learn. I love education. I also love to be busy, right? Like, so when I'm not busy, I'm sure like a lot of you guys, I feel like, what's going on, right? So yoga has allowed me to kind of slow down. It's a
Mhm.
create that weight, right? So I was also a college athlete, so I like to do hard workouts. I like to run, I like to do hit, I like to, weight train. But yoga, you have to wait, right? And you also have to feel what your body feels like that day. The other thing with yoga is that your body changes every day. So your water changes every day, your flexibility changes every day, your stress level changes every day. And when you're practicing yoga, you literally have to wait on your body and your mind to get to the place that you want to go. So I think that's the first thing. If we're thinking about, weight loss or losing weight, I think, yoga plays a huge part in that because it's physical activity. So anytime you're burning more calories than you're taking in, you're going to lose weight. But it also works on that mindfulness. So anybody that's having like a hard time thinking about what they're eating, when they're eating, how much they're eating, again, that goes back to that like slowing down, and yoga will give you that ability. And then it also helps us when the one thing that we all struggle with is like sleep, right?
Oh
Um,
yeah.
I don't know anybody that doesn't want to sleep more or doesn't want to have more, meaningful sleep. So yoga kind of relaxes the body, and just releases that tension in your body, releases that tension in your hips. A lot of times in your back, like I carry stress in my back. It allows you to kind of calm your mind down and go to sleep.
So let me ask one more question, and then I'm going to move my chair back and hopefully have the camera angle right so that we can um, uh, go into some beginner
We're gonna go bigger.
yoga. Okay. So um, with regard to yoga, is there a particular time to do yoga? Because I heard you say the whole sleep thing, and it becomes appealing to me because, as I revealed in another uh, broadcast or podcast, that since COVID, I've had difficulty sleeping. But I see that a lot of people rise and do yoga. So, is there a particular time that people do yoga, or is it just when you feel like it?
I think you do it whenever your body feels like it. The rising and doing yoga, like so when you're doing yoga in the morning, it's kind of setting an intention for your day. It's giving you that mindfulness for the day. A lot of people wake up with like kind of that go attitude, and I
Yeah.
think it's kind of like that meditation and that moment that you take before you get into your day. So a lot of times that sets the tone for the day. I will tell you, I do yoga in the morning and sometimes I do yoga at night. So even when I have like insomnia, I'll do some type of exercises like legs up a wall or things like that to kind of help me sleep and kind of calm my body down. So I think you just have to listen to your body and do which one's best for you.
Okay. And so I just want to say I'm thankful that you're here today. I want to learn this practice because I think that it will help me in the long run. And I too believe that I'm a type A person, and that I think that it will slow some of my activity down. And that I know that when we were talking ahead of this event, that we talked about these are some of these things that you show us we're able to do at our desk, or stand up and do in our own spaces. We might not be able to do the downward dog, but we might be able to do something else that will help relieve some of the tensions of the day. So I don't want to wait any further, and I'm going to move my
Okay.
chair back and get into a good space, right?
Sounds good. So we're gonna start. I'm gonna move back a bit so you guys can see me. But we're gonna start just in a simple tabletop position. You're gonna come down on your knees. And today we're gonna do a very simple, kind of relaxing flow, but very, very simple, very, very easy. And again, we will talk about some things that you can do at your desk in the middle of meetings and things of that sort. But you're gonna start with your shoulders above your wrists on both sides, and then your hips just above your knees. And then you're going to bring your head to neutral spine. We're just going to do some cat and cow poses. So you're going to tuck your head down low, and then we're going to slowly rise your head up to the sky. And we're just going to constantly move through these two poses. Your hips aren't really changing, your arms aren't changing. If you guys want to take a couple minutes to you don't have to close your eyes, but if you'd like to kind of let your eyes be heavy, you can do that as well. And you're just doming your back. And then slowly as you come up, you're arching your back.
Okay.
And the big thing with yoga that we want to think about when we're doing these poses is that it's all about breathing. So any upward movement that we make, we are inhaling, and any downward movement that we make, we're exhaling.
Okay, I had it going the opposite way. So say it again.
So you're inhaling as we bring our head up, and then we're exhaling as you bring your head down. And then you're inhaling and bringing that head up, and exhaling as you bring us down. So for this pose right here, this is actually a really good pose just to kind of take the tension out of your back. So anybody like me that carries that tension in your back, this is a really good pose to kind of take that tension out of your back. Really focus on your breathing here, and you'll kind of notice circulation, like the circulation in your body tends to increase. Your stress level seems to decrease a little bit. So we're gonna do this a couple more times. So you're gonna inhale up and exhale down.
And what is this pose called?
This is called tabletop. And then we're doing so tabletop, and then we're doing cat and cow here. So if anybody has a cat, you know, you're kind of doming your body like a cat. And I don't really know if this is like a cow, but that's what they call it in yoga, so we're gonna go with that. So we'll come back to neutral spine. Again, shoulders are above your wrist. The next pose we're gonna go, I think a lot of people know, but I will demonstrate it. So you're gonna spread your knees out far. You're gonna try to bring your toes to touch, and then we're gonna just sit your bottom back on your toes and stretch your arms out far. So
Here's some crap.
This is a child's pose. That's possible. So this is a child's pose, traditional child's pose where your toes are touching. If that's too much for you, you can spread your knees wide and then just sit back. If it's too much for your shoulders, like I know Colette, you said you were dealing with shoulder stuff in physical therapy, you can bend your so you're not stretching out far.
Okay.
So you're just taking a couple deep breaths here. For some people, this is a resting pose. For other people, this is a terrible pose. Like it's pretty painful. The other thing I will tell you guys about yoga that I want to really reiterate is that yoga is supposed to be relaxing. So when we're doing this pose, feel a little tension, but you should not feel pain.
Okay.
Okay. So you got to know the difference between tension and pain, but you got to know your body. All right.
All right. I got you. All right.
So let's go back to this child's pose. We're going to take one inhale here, and we're going to exhale. And then you're going to inhale back to that tabletop position. And we're kind of going to just do a little flow where we're going from tabletop. So this is an inhale, and then we're exhaling into child's pose. And then you're inhaling back to tabletop and exhaling into child's pose. So usually when I start class or start this type of yoga class, I ask you to feel your body. What does your body feel like today? Are your hips tight? Is your back tight? Are your wrists tight? Do you feel very flexible? Like, what are you feeling like? What is your body feeling like at this moment? And we're going to come back to that tabletop. Again, shoulders above your wrist. We're tuck our toes, and we're going to go into a downward facing dog.
Oh, Lord.
So you're going to push back into a downward facing dog. The objective here is that you're spreading your fingers out wide on the mat. You're trying to drive your heels to the ground. Now look here. I know everybody's heels does not go to the ground, and that's perfectly fine. But make sure your feet are shoulder width apart. It's almost like you're pushing away from that mat.
Oh, okay.
So you're going to take an inhale here. And we're going to actually try to like roll our calves out. So you're going to do opposite heels to the ground. So your right heel, and then your left heel, and your right heel, and your left heel. So the other thing you'll notice with yoga is that there's always going to be one side of your body that's stronger and one side of your body that's more flexible.
I'm trying to find out which one that is.
All right. If you're right-handed, usually your right hand is stronger, but it's the tighter side. If you're left-handed, it's the other way. So we're going to slowly walk our hands back to our feet. Keep our shoulders apart, so our hips are still shoulder apart. We're just going to hang here. So just let your head hang. You can bring your hands to the ground if you want. If it's for you to bring your arms here and cross them, that's fine as well. But really, when we're in this position, this is what we call ragdoll position. You're just letting the stress kind of run off your back. If you want, you can go to the right, or you can go to the left. I will tell you, this is also what they call the fountain of youth pose. So this pose right here will help you with insomnia. It'll help you with your blood pressure. It'll help you if you have any stress or any type of anxiety attacks or anything like that. Just doing this for a couple of seconds, because now you're upside down and the blood's going to your head. So we're going to take one roll up slowly. We're going to release our hands. We're going to roll up slowly. We're going to bring our hands above our head. And then we're going to bring to heart center. So when you bring your hands to heart center, this is really what we just call samastitihi. You guys are standing in what we call a prayer pose. Sometimes this is where we do attention. A lot of times what we do in the morning is what we call sun salutations. So we're going to go through one salutation today. I'm going to give you guys the easiest version, and then whenever we do it again, we will kind of add on to it. So you guys are going to go to what we call mountain pose. You're going to bring your hands above your head. You're going to relax your shoulders down your back. And you're going to take an inhale here. So a deep inhale. And then we're going to exhale. We're going to come all the way down to the mat, or as far as you can come. And then we're going to do what we call a halfway lift. You're going to lift and put your hands on your shins and draw your shoulders down your back, keeping your core tight. And then you're going to actually go back down, plant your hands on the ground. You're going to step back with your right foot. So I'm going to do it this way so you guys can see me. You're going to step back with your right foot, and then with your left. And then we're going to come back to that tabletop. Once we're in that tabletop position, we're going to shift 2 inches forward, and then we're going to lower ourselves all the way down to the mat. You should be laying on the mat with your shoelace sides of your feet on the mat. And we're going to do what we call a baby cobra. You're just going to push up right here. So that should give you a good stretch in your core. It should give you a good stretch in your back. It should also help with like circulation. You're going to turn your head to the right and then to the left if you want. You can also keep your head straight forward. We're going to come to what we call that tabletop one more time. We're going to tuck our toes, and then we're going to go straight back. And then we're going to walk our hands all the way back, and then we're going to slowly roll up.
I don't think I did that one right, but I think I need to practice getting back up on that one.
All right, so let's try one more time. So this is our sun salutation. So we're going to take a deep breath in. We're going to go into what we call mountain pose, bringing those hands near those ears.
Yeah.
Slowly come. I'm going to watch you this time, Colette. Come all the way down to the ground.
Yeah.
A halfway lift, your hands to your shin.
Yeah.
And then we're going to go back down. Well, you know what? I'm in the back of my mat. Sorry. You're going to go back down. You're going to step back with your right foot.
Yep.
And then foot. And
yep.
Piece. So we're going back to that tabletop. Good job. You're going to shift 2 inches forward. So remember I told you before, your shoulders are above your wrist. You're going to go 2 inches forward.
Yeah.
Lower all the way down to the mat. So almost just like you're laying on your belly.
Yep, I am.
And then you're just pushing up with the top part of your body. So you're pushing up. Your feet are still on the mat.
Yep.
Good job. You're going to come back to that tabletop.
Oh, Lord.
And you got this.
Okay.
You do.
Yeah, if you say so, okay.
And shift those hips up. And we're going to slowly walk our hands back.
Yep.
And then you're going to slowly roll up. Back into that mountain pose. And bring your hands to heart center.
Ooh, Lord.
You?
Okay. I got.
So that's our sun salutation. I do want to show you one other pose really quick because we talked about insomnia and not being able to sleep. So
Yeah.
ever not being able to sleep, this is a super good pose. I don't know if you guys can see me against the wall, but you're just putting your legs literally up against the wall. So I don't have a wall, but just pretend like I did if I had a wall. You're just putting your hands on the ground, closing your eyes, and focusing on your breathing with your legs up a wall. That tends to help a lot with insomnia.
Okay.
So
I'm gonna let you know how that works out. Okay. Woo.
how you feel?
Okay. Huh?
How you feel?
I feel like I actually I did something,
Okay.
and I feel like I stretched. Let me get
Okay.
into the camera view. I feel like I stretched my body in a different way, and so that I appreciate it, because I can get stuck, or it was particularly because I came off of physical therapy, which I thought was like, oh gosh. So it kind of like it stretched the rest of my body. I concentrated on one thing, so it stretched the rest of my body. Now,
Yeah.
particularly because I sit most of the day.
Yeah.
Right? I sit most of the day. So being able to stretch in a way is helpful. The other thing is, in physical therapy, they don't tell you to breathe it at all. They don't tell you how to breathe. They just say, do 10 of these and keep going. And
Right.
so it was helpful. It was helpful for you to tell us how to breathe and kind of exhale and inhale properly. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I appreciated that.
The breathing will help with movements, but it'll also help like when we're talking about like slowing down with that weight point. So
Yeah. So I want to thank you, because you one, you gave me something to look forward to. Two, I want to let the audience know that Tesha and I talked, and we wanted to make sure that our relationship was going to be great on the air, and our presence was going to be great on the air, and that she would join us. Now, what this is the second Tuesday?
second Monday.
So, today is Monday, right? Okay, I'm confusing everybody. It's Monday. It's the second Monday, and that she would join us and give us more, and hopefully all of you all will join us to participate in yoga. This is the opportunity. If you've never done yoga before, and I tried this before, I didn't like it the first time. But I appreciate what's happening now. I don't know whether it's because I've sat for a long time and I can appreciate the exercise and the stretching and the movements. But I appreciate this opportunity to work with Tesha in a different way, because I'm usually Miss Cardio. And that is usually my method is getting the number of reps in and getting the heart. Not that your heart does not beat, because my heart was beating down the mountain, whatever. It was beating, but it beats in a different fashion. And for that, I'm grateful. So I thank you, Tesha, for being a part of the Women's Leadership Forum and showing us new methods and new ways of being able to exercise not only our mind, but our bodies too. I want to ask you if you have words of encouragement that you would like to leave our ladies with as we are closing out this particular session.
So the only thing I say is that, first of all, yoga is for everyone. And yoga, it doesn't have to be, some people want to take it for 90 minutes or 60 minutes. There's millions of different kinds. So just try to incorporate, some type of yoga, even if it's 5 minutes a day, to give yourself that mindfulness and that self-care. I think that's what's super important.
Mm-hmm. Well, thank you. And I want to just remind our viewers that we are located on the Forward WLF website. But we are coming to you every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 6 p.m. on Facebook Live and YouTube. On Mondays, again, we're going to bring you health and wellness. Wednesday, it's Workforce Wednesday, and Friday is community. So we will bring you someone from the communities that will, and I mean the women's community, so they can be located all across the world. We are bringing that to you live for you to have conversation with, for you to learn from, to get information so that you have access. And then I want to also tell you about what's coming up. So this Wednesday, we will have Miss Erica Roberts from X is Possible on Wednesday, who will focus in on workforce development. And that's Wednesday, January 13th at 6 p.m. And then on Friday, I didn't do a banner for this, but we have another Erica who's going to come, and we're going to talk about waiting to exhale. Waiting to exhale. Now, it might not be what you're actually thinking about, but we're going to talk about getting some of this mind weight. You know, there's been a lot of events that have been happening this week, last week, 4 years, maybe longer, that we want to get off. And Miss Erica Salih is coming to you to talk to you about how we can get some of that weight off of us. And then I want to talk to you about Black History Month is coming up. Can you believe it? January is almost gone, and we're coming upon Black History Month. And that is where the Women's Forum is going to celebrate 28 days of Black business. So we're going to have 28 days of Black business celebration. And that leads us to the big event, which is the Women's Leadership Forum, March 18th through the 20th. And let me just tell you, this is going to, I don't even have words. This is going to be so exciting because there are so many people that are coming from across the globe to present to you things about leadership and how you have access, how you can do better, how you can excel. You don't want to miss this. You just don't want to miss this. And some people say, how am we going to sit here every day in front of the computer from March 18th through the 20th? Well, I'm glad you asked, because we're coming to you virtually. We're coming to you on a platform that allows you to hop in and hop out. You have choices, right? Women's Forum is about choices, and we're even giving you a choice on our platform for the Women's Leadership Forum. You can go to one workshop if you want to stay for 20 minutes and then go to the next workshop. You are more than welcome to do it. If you want to go hang out with our DJ is going to let you hang out. Matter of fact, the DJ is coming out with their top 5 list. I told her to limit it. Top 5 list. She was having a hard time, but she's limited it to the top 5, her all-time favorites for women for top 5. So you want to be in the know? You need a job? You're trying to get a job. You're trying to change careers. This is the place to come. This is the place. We have recruiters. Y'all. Yoga, y'all. Recruiters, y'all. Health and wellness. We've got anything that your little heart desires. Come on, join us. Register on our website. I'm going to say it again and then close out. It is forwardwlf.org. If you type it wrong, it's forwardwlf.org. We hope to see you there. I want you all to remember, please mask up and be safe. Please wash your hands. Please social distance. Please be mindful of your surroundings. Be safe. Be safe out there. I want to see you in this is 2021. I want to see you next month. I want to see you next week. I want to see you well beyond. I want to see you. Just be careful out there. I thank you all. I thank you again, Tesha, for joining us. I wish you all well. Stay tuned. Come back to us on Wednesday. Take care, everybody. Goodbye.